Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Donovan, and today we're going to take a look at one of the least expensive GPS smartwatches or smart bracelets available on the market today. This is the Elephone W7, as you can see right down here. And a quick thank you to the folks over at banggood.com for sending it out to me for review. You can see it's available right now on their website for only $24.69. So I'll leave links down in the description if you're interested in checking this thing out. So yes, it has GPS, it has a heart rate monitor, and of course, being a smart bracelet, it's going to track your steps, your sleep, and things like that. So with that being said, the question is, at that price point, does it suck? Well, there are definitely some things about this smartwatch or smart bracelet that aren't great, but for $25, it's really not that bad at all. So first of all, this is IP67 water resistant, so it is going to be just fine to get it wet, but you will not want to go swimming with it. But if it goes underwater, technically, it will be just fine under 1 meter of water for 30 minutes. So real quick, in order to charge this thing up, you can see that it's going to plug in right down there. So both these bands will come off, but the only one for charging it is going to be this top one, and you're going to plug it in directly to any kind of USB for charging it. And it doesn't take long to charge, and you're going to get quite a bit of battery. So this is over 3 days of usage, as you can see here. Now that screen automatically turns off pretty quickly, as you can see, but on this display you can see that we have the time, our weather, the date, steps. That's our current heart rate, which of course that's not accurate at the moment, but the last time I was wearing it, it was accurate. And then also the calories burned for the day. Now I'm going to go ahead and slide through some of the other things that it shows. So of course we got our steps again, we got our weather again, and this is going to be our notification. So if you hold down on this one button that it has here, you can see I got a text message from a friend. Amazon was going to ship me out something, and you swipe through them. Actually, you're not swiping, you're just clicking through them. And then there's our return button, so we'll go ahead and return back. And then we're going to go into our heart rate. So in order to check your heart rate, you're going to want to hold it down. Now, however, this thing does have all-day heart rate detection, so you don't need to do that very often because, like I said, it has all-day heart rate detection. Now, this is our activity menu, so hold down and go into the various activities. So we have walking, running, and again, these are going to use GPS because it has GPS built in. We have biking, hiking. You can see basketball. Now that one's only going to calculate your calories based on your heart rate. We have soccer, and now that's it. So let me just go back into running real quick, so just as an example. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the running. Now, one of the weaknesses with this GPS smartwatch is the fact that, or GPS smart band I should say, is the fact that once it connects to the GPS, and it's going to take about 30 seconds in general, in my experience, it's going to vibrate, and then it's going to give you a 3-second countdown, and it's going to start. There's no way to pause it. Basically, once it gets GPS, you need to be ready to go because it's ready to go, and that's pretty much it. So there's no way to say, hey, I'm gonna run in a race and you want to start it at a certain point. That's just not possible with this watch. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So now it's going to give us a countdown. So we're going to pretend that it actually got GPS. So you can see here that it's going to show you your heart rate, your calories burned while you're running, and your mile time, or your distance, I mean, and then a countdown. So we'll go ahead and get out of that. So that's what's going to show you. And then in order to stop it, 3 seconds, you're holding this button down, and it's going to let you know that well, in that case, it wasn't long enough for it to track it. So definitely some weaknesses in terms of the actual system here, so the software. Certainly nothing like what you get out of something like the Amazfit Bip. So this one's a little bit more expensive. This is like a $60 smartwatch, and to be honest with you, if you're looking for a great GPS tracker that also has really good heart rate monitor, this is the one I would recommend. It's obviously certainly not as good as something like a Garmin watch or my Apple Watch Series 4 or anything like that. Those are much more expensive watches, but if you're looking for an inexpensive smartwatch, this one for me is the gold standard for under $100 for sure. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the app you're going to use with the watch. So I'll go ahead and unlock my phone, and we're going to slide over here. So the app they're going to use is called HiMove. As you can see here, it's available in both Android and iOS. So that's right over here. And you can see here in the app, it's going to show us our steps that we walked for the day. So same thing that you have here. And of course, you can create goals. You can see I'm at 109% because my goal is 15,000. It's going to show you the same information down here. We have our heart rate here. You can see we can slide over to sleep, I think. There we go. All right, so there's our sleep information. So it's going to show you all the sleep that you did overnight, the distance that you've traveled over that day, and then the calories burned. Now, I will say the calories burned is definitely not accurate because it actually, when I go into the data information, so we'll just go ahead and do that now. Actually, not data, we'll go into sport. So this is the activities that I've tracked. So I've tracked 2 different activities with the GPS, ran a total of 13 miles with it so far. So this is today's activity, so I'll go ahead and just go into that. You can see I was just doing circles around a 0.6 mile loop here. And we'll go into some details here so you can see the pace. Now I have no idea what that even means. It says 11-16 minutes per mile. That's definitely not accurate. The calories, that's accurate. So when you go back to the information back here where it says, so it says here I burned 802 calories over 7 miles. That's pretty standard. So let's go back here and go back into home. And notice when I go into home, it says here that I burned 638 calories for the day. That doesn't make any sense when obviously I burned over 800 calories on that one run. So back here, GPS has been very accurate. I've been impressed by that. Also, the heart rate's been very accurate as well. So average heart rate 159 beats per minute. That's very accurate. Steps look good. Average speed looks good. The calories, I have no idea what that's even saying. Maybe 11, I don't even know, 11-16 per mile. I'm not sure what that even means. Stride rate, I'm not really sure on that one. But you can see the heart rate stayed pretty steady, pretty darn good in terms of the heart rate. I was really surprised by that, but not bad. Now, this is definitely not right. So my limit, I was at my limit heart rate. That doesn't make any sense for 44 minutes because you obviously can't do that. And if my average heart rate was 159, that certainly for me is nowhere near my max heart rate. So that's obviously not correct. And then when it goes into pace, notice that it's basically in kilometers, I believe, per mile, even though I have it set to imperial. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but that's obviously a bug in the software that we have to deal with this thing. So you can see we can go back in here and you can see your heart rate data for the day, your steps, your calories, your distance, and your sleep. So sleep tracking has been good. Distance has been good, except it doesn't really track anything other than the GPS stuff that you did. So this is just stuff I tracked using GPS. The rest of it didn't track because I actually did go for a walk that it did not track. So steps have been good though, pretty much dead on with my Apple Watch Series 4. Heart rate again has been very good, but like I mentioned, the calories burned, when I burned 800 in one run and it says I only did 638 for the day, that doesn't make any sense. So obviously not accurate. Now in the settings you can see here it's already synced up with today. User profile, we can go in and you can obviously adjust things here, so you can see your weight, your so this all is important information because you want to make sure that you have your height and weight information accurate, so that it's accurately tracking your calories, but obviously that's not super accurate. You can set up some goals. So I set up a goal for distance, calories, and steps for the day. We'll go ahead and go back out of that. And we can set up the Bluetooth device. Obviously, we already know how to do that. So device settings, we have auto detect heart rate. So it does detect it all day. We have camera controls, music controls. We can add in different sports. So that's right here. So you can see some other ones that are available. So I only showed you the ones that are on there right now, but if I want to add some other ones in there, you can see that there are other ones available. I just happened to pick those 4 because it only lets you have 4 other than the standard 2 or 3 that are on there. We have alarms, we have water drinking reminder, sedentary reminder, and then also do not disturb available on there. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and notifications. So you can see here, notifications. So I only wanted calls and SMS messages, but you can see we do also have support for things like Facebook, Twitter, Skype, and LinkedIn, Instagram, all the good stuff. And then you can see here that it does support Apple Health. Now, it will also support Google Fit as well. So if you have it synced up to a Google device or an Android device, it will sync up with that as well. So there are definitely some negatives when it comes to this watch, but overall for 25 bucks, the fact that it has accurate GPS and heart rate, that is pretty impressive. And it's certainly not the most amazing GPS smartwatch, but for $25 you really shouldn't expect a whole lot. So you can see it does have flip to wake as well, so we'll go ahead and do that real quick. So that works just fine. That button is a little bit kind of finicky, and you can see that the screen shuts off pretty quick, and there's no way to adjust that as far as I can tell in the app. But overall, not bad for 25 bucks, and certainly one. If you don't have a whole lot of money, the battery life is really good, the GPS is accurate, the heart rate's accurate, and it does quite a bit. Obviously, there's certain quirks within the software that you're going to have to deal with, but overall, not a bad watch. So again, links down in the description if you're interested in picking it up. And again, thanks to the people over at Banggood for sending this out to me for a review. Thanks for watching. Hope this video has been helpful for you, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.